Alright, moving on to Fast 5. Now this came out, I remember just, okay, we knew there was another one was going to come out because they set it up. In the setup film, Fast and Furious. So we knew another one was coming out. 2 years later, in 2011, Fast 5 came out, and I remember the trailers. My friend and I watched the trailer. I had it on YouTube on my computer at the time. And I'm sitting there, same friend, and I go, Han? My friend's like, what? Because he wasn't watching the trailer. I'm like, come look at this. So I restart the trailer. And they showed Han in the trailer. And I'm like, how? Because very much, I got a feel from Fast and Furious that little bit of Han at the beginning was supposed to be it. Like, showing that he ran with Dom, connect to Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. But because the character is so popular, they're like, you know what, let's just bring him back, not caring about continuity, and we're bringing him back, So they brought back a bunch of characters. You got Roman, you got Tej, you got Leo, you got Santo, you have Vince, and of course Brian, Dom, and Mia, and Han, and it's like all these characters coming in. Plus, you got new characters like The Rock playing Hobbs, and you have Elsa Pataki playing, I don't know her name. I forget her name, but she's working with Hobbs. And you have Reyes, and you have Reyes second in command. So you got new characters. And this whole thing, it's a heist movie, basically. What it is after the events of Fast and Furious, Dom, Brian, and Mia are on the run. And they go to South America, Rio, and they hook up with Vince. Dom's not there at the time, and he tells Brian and Mia that he has a job jacking cars. This is where it gets in, because there's a certain thing in one of the cars that these men they're supposedly, they're working with want. And I want that car. And Dom, as soon as the guy points out he wants that, he's like, no, Mia, you take it. Because he knows something's up. And then he finds out Vince is connected. They have a falling out, but then he comes back in because, family is family and all that. After this event, they decide they're going to rob Reyes of a safe that contains all his money. I don't remember saying how much money, but it's a lot of fucking money. And so they need a team to do so. So they bring in everyone. They bring in Han and Leo, Santo, Giselle, Tej, Roman, everyone. And eventually Vince comes back into the fold. When I first saw this, I was kind of upset that they killed off Vince. Spoiler, of course. But, they have this whole thing where he falls out with Dom again. And he comes back, like the original film. And then he gets shot here. And he dies. Next thing, you see his body laying on a table. He's dead. And they do the right thing with his cut goes to his wife and son, Nico. And Dominic. I said, okay, so that's pretty good. But I was mad at first. I'm like, why are you bringing characters back and you kill them off? And I was afraid no more characters died. I knew Han wasn't going to die because they got to connect it, with something. But it's just like, he died, so it's like, okay, maybe he didn't want to do more, so maybe they did that. I don't know. It would be cool to see Vince. Hey, who would be cool to see again? Leon. What the fuck happened to him, huh? Maybe the actor doesn't work anymore. I don't know. Just mention, Leon says hi, You never see him again. But yeah, the whole heist thing, the biggest scene is the whole Brian and Dom hooking up cables to the safe and driving all around Rio with it. And this whole plan that they have. And, they try to get you with, it's been derailed because Hobbs finds where they are. He comes in. There's a fight between him and Dom, and it's going down like There's that whole thing in the first one where Dom went to jail because he beat the hell out of someone with a wrench. I think he actually maybe he didn't kill someone, but he beat the holy hell out of him. And he almost does the same thing to Hobbs, but it shows how far Dom has come that he just hits the concrete instead of Hobbs. It shows how far Dom has come in the years. And, yeah, it's just... Sorry. So, you think, okay, they're caught. Well, then Reyes' men show up and start shooting up the place. How they found him, I don't know. They start shooting up everything. They get to trap stuff, I don't know. And, all of Hobbs' men, except for him and Elena, I remember their name, die. All of them. And so that's the catalyst for Hobbs to work with them to take down, I almost said Shaw, to take down Reyes. And he even puts a bullet in Reyes' head. When, at the end, after the whole thing, Reyes tries to, because he's DDS, he's supposed to be the good guy, he's supposed to be, on his side. He shoots Reyes in the head and then tells Dom, you're not taking off with this. Well, little does he know, he does because he figures it out, that they swapped out the safe for an empty one. And so when the one that Hobbs has is empty, and the one they have is full of cash, full of money. And yeah, so there's the whole celebration thing at the end where they show what everyone is doing with their money. Tej opened a garage. Rome bought a car, which he said, there's only one on the Western Hemisphere. And then it's shown that, Tej has one too, which, here's the thing, I saw this. They're still, because the whole team is put down as wanted criminals. So they're wanted criminals. How does Tej have a garage if he's a wanted criminal? That's what I want to know. And, so, Dom, he ends up with Elena at the end of the film. They're together. How far from Fast and Furious is this? Is this 2 years later? It's implied that it takes place right after the events of the first one. Because they show Hobbs at the incident and everything that happens right after the first one. So how is he suddenly go from pissed as hell, wanting to get revenge for his dead girlfriend in Fast and Furious to, I'm over her, I'm with Elena now, in Fast 5. And he said, I know what you're saying, wait till I get to the mid-credit scene, okay? So it's that's a little sketchy for me, though. The timeline from here on in is a little wonky. Especially when we get to the 8th one, which we'll get to. But it's just so, yeah, that just confuses me. How I can go from avenging my girlfriend's death to, I'm okay now, I'm going to date someone else. I understand that if your girlfriend's dead, you got to get over her, fine. But that quickly? I don't know. Mia getting pregnant here, I thought, I'm okay, so after this, she's not going to be a part of the films anymore. She's in the 6th one, a little bit. She's in the 7th one, a little bit. She's less and less. She's supposedly coming back for the 9th one, which, how are they going to... If you got a good way to bring her in, that's fine. I keep hearing they're going to try to find a way to bring back Brian some way, somehow. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right? Here's why. And we'll get to that film. But his exit, Brian's exit in Furious 7 was perfect. It was fine. It was a great send-off to make... The only thing I could see them doing that would be fine, I wouldn't be pissed or anything, is if there's a scene where Dom calls Mia and you see the back of Brian's head with a kid in the background. That's it. I don't want to see a CGI version of him or anything like that. Just like the back of his head, just to show that he's still alive and well. Well, I thought they were going to kill Brian off. We'll get to that in Furious 7. I'm going ahead of myself. But, like, yeah. And this one does go bigger than the last one. There's stunts, there's some explosions, stuff like that. Much bigger. Much better, in my opinion, than the last one, Fast and Furious. Which I said was a setup film for this, and this really goes all out when it comes to the spectacle. And they've been trying to beat the spectacle ever since. You know, Furious 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious. They've been trying to beat that spectacle ever since. I don't think they have. They just really tried to. Anything else I want to talk about here? Reyes, though, when it comes to villains, he's sort of a stock villain. He's this mafia type tough guy with bodyguards and a lot of money. Your stock villain. You know, he doesn't do anything special. He's not like Ricky Tan, where he's got people and he's got motorcycles and, you know, he's intimidating, spraying people down. No. He's not like Verone, where he's got, you know, they have the quarterback, and he's got two henchmen that are very colorful characters. He's not even like DK, who at least has some character to him. And even Braga had character to him. In a movie that really was just a let's get to the next one movie. Reyes is just bland. He's your stock villain. He doesn't do much. He's barely says anything, I think. He says some lines, but he just... And then he's dead. So let's talk about the mid-credit scene, okay? TP. This mid-credit scene brings back Eva Mendez's character, Monica Fuentes. And she walks up to Hobbs at the DDS office and says, something you need to look at. And she starts talking about a crew hijacking something on a freeway or something. And he goes, Toretto? And she goes, no. And he goes, not interested. And she goes, yes, you are. And he flips the page, and there's a picture of Letty. I remember specifically my friend and I were sitting in the theater, and we both looked at each other and went, what? Because she's dead. Well, obviously, they needed more star power for the franchise, so we get to Fast and Furious 6. And oh boy, we gotta talk about that when we get to Fast and Furious 6, which I don't know if it'll be tonight. Crisis is tonight, the final two parts, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll talk about that in the end. But yeah, for Fast 5, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Great film, great action, great acting, great characters, everything great. Top to bottom, 9 out of 10. I know you're saying, what if it's all that great? Why isn't it a 10 out of 10? Because 10 out of 10 is reserved for those films that I think are perfect. It's not perfect. I named off problems, you know, with it. So, for this, 9 out of 10. So, what are your thoughts on Fast 5? Let me know in the comments below. Before I go, I want to let you know, the last two parts of Crisis on Infinite Earths is tonight. The crossover is tonight. I've done the first three. If you've seen the parts, watch my reviews for these. So, you know what I've done with the past Crisis ones. I've waited till the next day to review them. I'm still going to do that because here's the thing. One, that's been my pattern. Two, this is 2 episodes, one night, back to back. I can't watch the first episode, then review it, then watch the next one, because if I stop to review it, I'll miss part of the next one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to watch it tonight, and probably get my socks knocked off. Although Crisis, I hear, is not as big as Endgame, so, you know, I shouldn't be too hyped, but still hyped. And then tomorrow, I'm going to rewatch it again. And then sometime this week, I'm going to watch it again, and I'm going to review the parts. I'm going to watch part 4, review it, part 5, and review that. And then this weekend, I'm going to do a Let's Talk About. I'm going to watch all 5 parts in continuation, all 5 parts. And I'm going to do a Let's Talk About, where I just kind of talk about how all 5 parts connect together, and my overall thoughts of the crossover altogether. So, you'll get so basically my reviews have been part for part for part. My review on probably Saturday will be a overall review of what I thought it did take all together. So that'll be Saturday most likely. So look for that. So, because I don't want to, I'm not about doing that tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I got to do the 2 reviews back to back. I mean, I could wait till midnight, watch them again and do it then, but I might be up late tonight. I don't know. Depends. But, I don't know. I'd rather wait till the weekend and do it all in one shot because I want to do more. I want to finish Fast and Furious franchise because here's the thing. I think I said this. I'm going to get the Fast and Furious done and I'm going to continue the X-Men franchise after that. There's a lot more X-Men movies than there is Fast and Furious, I think. Isn't there? Let's count them right now. There's 9 Fast and Furious right now. And with X-Men, you got the first 3 X-Men, the first trilogy, the second trilogy, the 3 Logan movies, the 3 Wolverine movies, that's 9, right? And then you have the Dark Phoenix. And then you got the 2 Deadpools, that's 12. And I don't know, I might do Once Upon a Deadpool, I don't know. That's 13 movies to do. Probably should have done those first, I guess, but who knows. So what are your thoughts on, the fuck was I reviewing? Oh yeah, Fast 5. What are your thoughts on Fast 5 in the comments below? Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one, which will probably be a Crisis review. I don't know, I might do Fast and Furious 6 tonight. Who knows? See you.